Okay, so that's our little introduction to our stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and represent now up to my screen. Maybe I will. I have to get rid of that and go to that. Go to that. There we go. You may hear some cool drums in the background. My son is down practicing right now. Okay, blink, 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 click. There it is. Okay, so welcome, folks. Welcome to Design 320. Let me open up the chat line. And what I'd like you to do now, if you haven't done it already, just put @ and your name in the chat line. And then hit enter. I'm going to do it right now. Doesn't matter if you have a typo or anything like that. But you should get used to communicating through the chat line or through voice. See some names coming through. And so welcome everybody. It looks like we have about half the class in here, which is pretty good. I'm going to go down and I'm going to probably ruin a whole bunch of names, but I'll give it a try anyway. So I want to welcome Elijah and Jake and Jan to the class, and Casey and Kirby and Leah, and Natalia, Olivia, Rokai, Rasul, and then I've got one that says unknown. I think you can actually type in what your name might be. And that's cool. Natalia's got her alternate keyboard on. That is really cool looking. So there we go. Oh, and then she changed it. There we go. That's cool. Yeah, you'd be blowing my mind away with your alternate keyboard. And so I recognize a number of you. So for those of you who are coming back, you might get questions from those of you who aren't, like, why are you back with this joker? But you can read my Pick a Prof or ratemyprofessor.com, and I do my best, and hopefully what you see on there is true, but you can go by with that. I am recording now, so that you know. I don't record the actual meat. I record what you see over here in the screen. That's what I record. So I don't record the chat line, and I don't record your comments, but be careful with them anyway, as best you can. And do the best you can. I think everybody has their video off, so thank you very much. That's helpful there. All right, so look, this is Design 320. It's an online class. All of these meets that you see on the calendar are optional. These are optional. You don't have to be here. They are here because many, many people just can't, and I don't blame them, watch videos or read stuff and then pick up the skills. So this week, the only skills I'm going to be going over are your prep skills. Things like, how do you do a Google Meet? How do you do a Google Form? What's a Jamboard? How do I share my screen? How do I turn stuff in? Things like that. So that next week when we start doing something, you're really up and ready to rock and roll. Okay? And next week we will be doing something. What will we be doing next week? I can look at the to-do and it says, oh, I'm going to be doing sketching. And you go, sketching? I don't have a sketchbook. I don't have pencils. I don't have anything. That's cool. This is a flexible class, and you'll be able to sketch with something if you've got it. Use a program, excuse me, if you know what the program is and how to run it, or you'll have a chance to learn SketchUp to do some simple perspective sketching. So I list what's due, and then we have lectures and labs, which are optional, but which I believe are useful for students to come to. Okay, so you'll also always see that I have a little list. And so my goal is that these are all things, if there's a link, it means I've already prepared something And I don't need to go over it because you can just watch it. Okay? So my belief is that you'll watch these things and then ask questions. I'm not going to go over these in lecture. Now, in lab, you might come and you go, I didn't get it. I don't see how to do it. And I can redo a demo for you. But the main part of what you're going to get are here on these. Okay? You'll also see I'll put a link to a recording here. Okay? And there's going to be a template to follow every week. And you'll put those in. And the syllabus. So I do want to just touch on the syllabus. You need to go through and you need to do what the actual syllabus assignment says to do. And I've given you an example and a recording of it, of what to do. And it's actually part of this template. There's a sheet in there that says exactly what to do. Okay, so let me go over that really quick. You can follow the links to find this, and you'll see that there's always a requirement listed at the top. And then I'll give you a little video of how to do this. So there's a requirement at the top. You'll get this email today or tomorrow that I'm talking about. You'll get, I need to go back through and undo this. I don't know why I painted on that, and I shouldn't have. I think I was talking with somebody and practicing. There we go. There. So there's some stuff, and here's some more stuff. Demonstrate some skills. Now look, if you don't know how to do one of these things, leave it blank, because that will tell me you don't know how to do it. Or better yet, get with me in on an appointment or during one of the lab meets, and I'll show you how to do that. And then we're going to be talking about water quality. And so here I want to know what you know about water quality. Maybe you don't know very much. Maybe you know a lot. This is not a place to do research. I want to know what you already know. So you can write some stuff and do some pictures. And then here's the thing about the syllabus. So you're going to take the syllabus and you're going to copy it into here. So let's look and see what the syllabus looks like, because I do always go over this briefly. Now, your job is to read this, each page, and then turn it green to signify that you've read this and you understand. Okay? So you need to do that to each page. That means, and I've given you a thing on how to do it. So I want you to read that or watch the video. This is what you're going to learn. Okay, Design 320. This is about how much time you're going to take. And this is a little bit about how the classes run. You should know that we're going to be using SketchUp, AutoCAD, Revit, maybe a little Inventor, some other things. We have all that software for you, and you can get it through a web link. Okay, and we've got a thing that shows you how to do that too. All right? So just keep your eyes open to everything. This is actually what you're going to learn. This is what we're going to do week by week by week. There's the Google Calendar. I will go over this, the grades. Here's a short video about it. Okay, and here is how I grade. Every week is 4 points, and you can see how I grade. But this is the important part. Okay? Every week you turn in something, and you're going to turn in some template like this every week. That's what happens every week. Okay? And every week it's worth 4 points. So if you get 90%, you get an A, 80 to 89 B, blah, blah, blah. Okay? And it can take me up to a week, but usually it takes me a few days. So that's cool. You're going to find out that late work is not acceptable. Okay? So you turn something in and you go, I just didn't quite get everything done. That's okay. I'll do markups of what wasn't quite right, and you'll have 1 week to get that markup fixed and in. Okay, so I don't accept late work, but I do accept partial work, and you can get up to 0.5 points. So if you turn in one that's blank, you can get 0.5 points, and you'll have a 0.5 out of 4. If you turn on that's half empty, you'll get a 2 points, and it'll raise to a 2.5. See how that works? Okay. Now, if I do a bunch of revisions and take my time to give you feedback and you don't make those changes, I stop doing them. You get twice to poof up not doing them. I just stop. Why would I do them? Right? If they're not being used, I don't do them. So be sure to read your grades and make the revisions, or I stop doing them. Okay? Late work, if you don't turn something in on time, you get a 0. So you always turn in your template even if it's blank. I will accept late work, though, in the late work module. So let's say you go, I didn't turn something in, darn it. You can put it in the late work module, and at the end of the semester, you'll get a 0 right away, but at the end of the semester, I'll go back and half of your late work will get graded. Okay? I'm not going to grade everything, man. It's like, it's extra work for me to do that. And why would I? You need to get stuff done on time because that's how industry works. So, but I will grade half of them. And then there are a few things that reduce your final grade. And that's because clients expect that when you've contracted to do a job, you're going to deliver the right product at the right time in the right format. And so with keeping in that, in my classes, because that was my life, I was a design engineer. We got all that. There you go. You have to turn stuff in. Okay? If you get 3 late submittals, you'll also go down a grade and failing to do the portfolio. So there's a bunch of cool stuff in here that you can look over. Okay? So you'll see stuff on here to go to. The videos are there for you to watch. And I don't feel I need to go through all of those right now. If you can't figure it out from the videos, come to the lab. Come to the lecture, come to the lab, and I'll help you out. What I'd really like to do now is do some introductions. So I'm going to introduce myself, and then I'm going to ask you all to do a short introduction on the chat line. Okay, so I'm going to do an introduction on the chat line. Okay, and I'll say it as I go. So at Randy Schuster, I am a mechanical engineer. I'm from UC Davis, class of 83. So that's kind of cool. Worked in industry for about 25 years as a design engineer. I'm spelling things all wrong. Okay. And engineering supervisor and manager. But at ARC for about 15 years. A little more than that. A little bit more than 15 years, probably about 17. Okay. So that's a little bit about me. And I also supervise Design Hub, run a massage therapy business, and run a small martial arts dojo in addition to my own consulting business. So I kind of stay busy. Of course, right now there's no massage going on or anything like that. Then I'm going to post that. There we go. Okay, so what I'd like you to do right now is do a quick, spend just a minute or two to write down for your colleagues your name, sort of what program you're in. We have people that I recognize from interior design, from landscape design, from engineering, from design tech, from all over the place. Last class, I had somebody from administration of justice. So please take a moment to write your name and just type in on the chat line a little bit about you. Then you can check. And while you're doing that, I'm going to check the discussion board to see if anybody put stuff on there. And you can see, and look, what I really like is if you do the discussion board and do a recording or some other cool thing like that. Cool, we got a couple of them on here. Got Molly in here, that's really cool. Welcome to Molly, who's doing that. Interior designer. We get a lot of cool interior designs. JR is in here. That's cool. Welcome, JR. Good to have you coming in. Elijah. That's cool. Somebody actually recommended this class. That's great. Ahmed. Not everybody's on here right now. So cool. Interior design again. Olivia, I believe I recognize Olivia. I'm pretty sure I've had Olivia in my class before. Welcome back. Jake, I've had you before. Alejandro, welcome to Alejandro. Cool. Okay, Casey, welcome. Interior design. So this is what I like about this is you're going to find out that this class is centered on, let's talk about this now. Rusul, is it Rusul? Am I saying that at all right? Civil engineer from Iraq. Well, welcome. You're going to find out that you'll probably be a great resource for our students because our professionals from other countries who are unfortunately not recognized with their degree always find that this is a great way to get into the workplace where people recognize their skills and abilities and move forward. So Rasul, welcome, and we do have a great pathway for you to be able to get back into doing that kind of work. Casey, interior design. Kirby, a lot of good interior design people. Love it. You're going to find some really cool stuff in this class. So what I do is I take this information, and design has basic principles. Design visualization has basic principles. And after you've learned those basic principles, you get to apply them, and I let you apply them in the field where it's most interesting to you. Kirby is also looking for interior design. Oh, you've got a bachelor's in business. That's really cool. Well, that will be good because as you do your own business, there you go, right? And I like that. I've always had my own business also. So that's really cool. I'm liking to see what everybody's doing. Rokai, welcome back, doing the construction, engineering, and design. Um, so this course is going to start off very basic with just basic tools, sketching in perspective, and then turning it into visualization, because nobody will let you do your design if they haven't visualized it themselves and agreed that it's what they want. So the part about getting a job is visualization. So I'll give you some very broad, open-ended project work where you can apply it in the field that you're most interested in. Natalia, we'll be talking about your interest because she's already done a lot of this stuff. Leah, you've been in the class before, or not in this class, but in my classes before, so I'm familiar with what you're looking to do. And Olivia, welcome in. When you say you're a stay-at-home mom, well, now even working parents are stay-at-home parents, right? It's like, how do you get stuff done? We will be as flexible with you and your schedules as at all possible for anybody. Like you heard my son drumming downstairs. Well, he's in recording arts at Chico State, but he's here. So the drums are going. So that's all cool stuff. Um, but I plan to be flexible and let you work along. You're welcome to kind of cut and paste this stuff into a spot that you're going to be able to use it on. I'm going to make a quick copy of it right now. And send it to myself. There we go. So that I can go back and do some of the looking at with that. Okay. So I think you'll all get some cool stuff. We're going to start out with basic tools. We're going to show you sketching tools, and then we're going to go over the actual software of SketchUp, AutoCAD, and Revit, and then it'll be up to you to use the tool that you would like to do best. And if you know another tool, that's fine with me. If you know SolidWorks or Vectorworks or Dynascape or LandCAD, that's all fine with me. I'm looking at your design presentations and the stuff that you've been able to put into it. So, and Olivia, just I noticed that you're very interested in tiny houses, and so you could, as an example, be able to work towards tiny house design. And in California, that's working better than some places. Lots of local planners just don't want to deal with them. But in California, they've redone some rules that allow you to do that. So that's kind of cool. So you might be interested in some of the land planning issues because the tiny house design is the first little step, and then you have to get it installed in an improved manner. So I can help you look towards that in part of your design too. Okay. So cool stuff. Let me get back. Thank you for all introducing yourselves. You can put it on the discussion board too, if you would like. I'm going to come back to here and look at some of the rest of it. A couple of other things is if you want to, on the discussion board, add one or two interesting topics about yourself. I happened, as a high school student, I was a jazz sax player and got to play at the Monterey Jazz Festival. I was part of an extremely good jazz band. Many of my colleagues and bandmates went on to go to either Juilliard or Berklee School of Music or major in music. I did not. I dropped the saxophone, although I still play a little bit with my wife's band. They do Colombian folk music. And every now and then I'll play. But my son is working towards his degree in jazz studies and recording, so that's kind of tough. You need, huh? Uh, over there. Cool. Okay. Um, I also am a martial artist since I was 9 years old, and I still do my exercises, even though I'm not sweating it out with anybody on the mat. I'm really kind of too old to really bang and pound now. But I do like to exercise a lot and things like that. So if you want to put in one nice, interesting thing, that would be kind of cool if you put that into the discussion board. Okay, so after the introductions, I do want to talk about home base. You should all have on your dashboard something that says home base. And if you do not, you can go to the name that I put on my front page, Shane Lipscomb, and find out which home base you should have and where you should go. This is a great tool, particularly for those of you who are about to graduate or get a certificate. This is where you'll go to actually petition to get it. And there's time frames and all that kind of stuff. So you should go on there. And yours might not be manufacturing construction. If you're in interior design, you're somewhere else. But they'll all kind of have the same stuff. You can get, counseling appointment, petition for graduation, the catalog, find an internship. Now, for those of you, I'm going to make a plug. For those of you who need an internship in interior design, I want you to email me. We have openings in the Design Hub, and we have need. We have 4 projects where we need interior designers to work on the new tech ed building. This is real, live, needed work that will be put into practice, and it's for our departments and our interface to the architects. If you need an internship, please email me about the Design Hub if you're interior design. Okay? We have absolute definite need. If you're a programmer, we have absolute definite need. But anyway, so from the home base, this is where you go just to get help. And whoever your home base coach is a great resource. And they may not know the answer, but they know who knows the answer. And so always get starting there. So Jake, that's totally inappropriate. You may leave if you'd like, but that's a totally inappropriate thing to put in the chat. I'd like you to look at our professionalism one. This is a class that has a very specific need, and you can look at the student learning outcomes. Okay? And then you can make your decision as to what you'd like to do. All right? But that's not a professional thing that you would add into the chat line right now. All right? Okay. So, yes, Jake. But right now is not the time to go over it. So mute yourself, and if you're interested in what the class is about, we'll go over it. But I'm teaching a class right now, and it's just not the right thing to put in. So go ahead and mute yourself. If you'd like to stay in, that's great. That's perfect. And then, as usual, we'll meet. Okay, we're really good at meets, and I think I even saw you on my appointment schedule. So that's really cool. Okay, so for your home base, you want to be working, for those of you who are in interior design, you'll want to go to your home base, which is Fine and Applied Arts. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to our cool thing here. And you'll notice I keep going back to the calendar. The calendar is where it's all at. It's got the agenda for every day and what to do and all this kind of stuff. Enrollment. Everybody's in here, I'm pretty sure, has their enrollment met. If you're having problems or if you get dropped or this or that or the other thing, let me know. If you have any questions on enrollment, there's that. And then I want to go to one more. Somebody let me know, did I do the professionalism one yet? I want to go ahead and do that one. It has a lot to do with with what's going on around us in the professional atmosphere. Anybody have any questions about enrollments and what goes in a class or enrolling or getting your graduation and your certificate and your degree? Okay. So then let me go to syllabus. Here we go, right here. And I want to go over this a little bit. Honesty and integrity are important. Okay? And it's all based on safety and reliability. And you're the first line of defense for that. As a designer, we rely on you, your word. When you certify, you're telling us that you're certain that it's true and that it meets all the standards and regulations and specifications to the best of your knowledge. And I'll tell you, we're gonna watch this thing and you'll find out why. Now, as ARC faculty, I'm obliged to our area industry to make sure that when we give you a passing grade or a degree in a class, that you've been adequately trained in the integrity and the skills that are the basis of what we do. So that's really, really important stuff. So I'm going to open this up. And I'm going to stop that share and present a tab. It looks like it's not flickering, so Okay, so that's a little bit about professionalism. That's an important part of the design curriculum, actually. And so for a lot of you, I bet you know that already, and that's pretty cool. Okay, so now I'm gonna present one more thing, and really now it's you can put in the chat line if you've got a couple of questions. That's really what I wanted to go over for today. I'd like you to go through all of these little presentations. There's each one's maybe 5 to 10 minutes long, so it's not too long, and then you can actually start working on your template. Okay, you can start actually doing this. Okay, and then if you have any problems with it, then you can get on with me on tomorrow or the next day or the next day. Okay, and then you've got 2 other days to work if you need to. And it'll be due at 11:59 p.m. on the 24th. All right. Questions, comments, concerns? Go ahead and pop them in the chat line. Okay, so I was always taught that if you count to 9 and there are no questions, you'll probably have no questions. So that's it for today. I want to thank you all very, 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 very much for coming on in. I do want to make sure that you know that you can always get a hold of me on my appointment calendar. So feel free to get in on appointment calendar, or send me an email, or if you're on Discord, send me a Discord. What is the orientation? Okay, so the orientation is basically either be at this or watch the video, and I'll post that for you. So Kirby asks, what does it mean that you have to be at the orientation to avoid being dropped? It means that you either need to be at this, which now I've got you all on here, or you have to have watched this. So what you're going to see that I'm going to make a video of this, and that I'm going to post it, and you're going to have a chance to go, oh, I was there. I don't have to watch this. Or it'll say, oh, I just watched the whole thing. Thank you very much. Cool. And Leah says, do we need to be at every lecture and lab? And how do you access the recordings? So the answer is absolutely not. You don't have to be at any of them. And you'll access the recordings by going to the date. And as soon as I've posted it to YouTube, I'm going to put a link right on that date. So it will be on the calendar. Okay? And so, yeah, Natalia, I want to be able to chat with you a little while on your question about that. So please go ahead, and I think I've got you down. You put down today at 5, which is why I wasn't on yesterday at 5, because you actually put yourself down for today at 5. So I'll be ready for you today at 5 if that's still a good time. And because I do want to chat about the best way to meet your needs, and whether this class will meet your needs or be something different. So Kirby, I think I answered yours. Leah, I think I answered yours. If there are no other questions, I'm going to log off and get to my main. I see Jake typing. Are you typing, Jake, or just watching the chat line? Okay, cool. And Jake, are you on here for a meet yet? So this is very much like what we did before. If you want to chat with me about stuff, you know, I love getting on individual Google Meets and chatting with you. I look forward to chatting more with you. So there we go. Cool. Awesome. All right, then I'm going to make sure that I think I've turned off my recording. I'm going to turn off the recording right now.